Hey, Nowsheen.
Hi, Dr. Shambhavi.
Hello, and welcome to Shambhavi's Spectrum Marketing Magic Industry Insight series. My lovely guest today, Nowsheen Yaqoob. You can see the aura behind her, the Auracious Global Consulting, a human development company which she founded, she heads, she leads. Thank you, Nowsheen, for finding this time to join me here today. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you very much. And thanks a lot for inviting me over to your show. It's a great honor to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me quickly say one number. Is it a two digit or is it a three digit for the number of countries that you have visited, Nosheen?
It's a two digit, 60 countries.
Oh, wow. Is it fair to ask you which was your favorite place?
Honestly, it's very difficult for me to choose one, but I would like to go with Switzerland. That is by far. It's
Oh,
very
my.
close to where I come from as well. I can relate a lot to that, but yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Very nice. So let me start my questions to you with I found the book Ikigai in your hand in your um, profile picture. Tell me a little bit about how did the book happen to you?
Actually, I it's one of my favorite books, and very close to my heart. And the principles behind it, the purpose behind that book, and the teachings, the learnings. So I happened to get uh, introduced to this book about 4 years ago during one of my coaching sessions, and one of the fellow coaches introduced Ikigai as a concept to me, although I had heard about it, but most of it I grasped from him. And then I started reading the book. That many people, if you ask them, why do you do something that you do? What's the purpose you woke up with today? These were the questions I asked myself back then as well. And that was really thought provoking. That is what made me to go deeper into the principles of longevity and secret of happiness, and all of that is discussed in this life. In a nutshell, I would say uh, it is the best book that I have found for myself as a self development in this area, in the secret of lifelong happiness. So that's what I would say about Ikigai.
So from flying the skies, you've become grounded. Not that you were not grounded then. Tell me a little bit about your journey of starting Auracious Global and a little bit about your purpose. How did it come about and when did you actually start?
Auracious Global, first of all, Auracious means the inner beauty, beautiful from within, beautiful in real sense. So, in my corporate journey of whatever career I have had for past 18 plus years, it was everything to do with image outside in. So the external, I was always inclined towards fixing or nurturing or upskilling the external side of the human behavior, whether it was for me or for other people. But when I started looking deep within, and that journey started from my personal transformation, when I realized that I'm stuck somewhere in crossroads, either with decision or with some personal issues like negative emotions and pent up energy that was affecting my relationships personally and professionally as well. That is when I decided to look within for answers and go on a transformational journey that helped me, first of all, in overcoming whatever, whether it was fears or any other issues, and then thinking of how I can help other people transform even one thing in their life for good. That is where the concept of help started. But Auracious was born a couple of years in 2020 when peak pandemic hit the entire world. And there were a lot of mental health issues, crises within the families, professions, work environment. The work world was totally transformed. That is when I founded Auracious in India. I was back in India that time for a couple of years, and Auracious Global Consulting happened last year here in Dubai. Because going from the national level or one country level to global is any which ways a progressive thinking that anyone would have when they start off from a smaller level. So now Auracious Global is a human development company. Human development is everything to do with a human, all facets of life, and that includes their personal journey, their self discovery, their spirituality, their work world, professional development, career development, their relationships, and so on and so forth. Like the wheel of life, we all know about, whether there are 12 areas in somebody's wheel of life, whether somebody focuses only on the seven ones. So that is how the journey and the story of Auracious began. And since 2015, I would say, since I did all my certifications in life coaching and neuro-linguistic programming, and training and development has been, the corporate training has been my forte for many years now, 18 plus years. So now I help individuals and organizations through Auracious Global, of course, through the webinars, workshops, individual coaching, personal coaching sessions. I help them to reach where they want to be, but going from the current situation, the current scenario, where they are right now, literally like a coach, it takes you from point A to B, but the goal has to be defined, it has to be clear. First of all, keeping away the chaotic circumstances and dealing with them with the help of certain techniques, tools, and resources. So that is what happens in this whole scenario.
So, have your shoulders become broader and heavier because of the weight that you carry with people leaning on you?
I would say it's been an amazing learning time for me, because from every single person, including my own daughter who is 5 years old, I learn a lot. Sometimes I learn a tip from her, how to be in that present moment. And I utilize that in my coaching sessions. That if I have somebody like a youngster to coach, so that is what I do. I cross learn and then implement that. So yes, you can say there have been a lot of responsibilities, increase in responsibilities, yes, but all to do with what I love doing. So it doesn't really feel heavy, to be
Uh,
honest.
so, Nosheen, two questions for you. One
Yes.
is that any kind of a social event or a professional event, has it become a place where people are kind of, shedding their baggage onto you? And my second question is, how do you keep that baggage away from you so that it doesn't start affecting you personally?
It's a very interesting question, by the way. But not many people have asked me that, because people generally rely, if you introduce yourself as a human development expert or as a coach, so people look up to you. They come to you with their issues related to stress, sometimes anxiety, or they don't even know they have anxiety. So, yes, they do come with a lot of questions. They do come with a lot of experiences. And sometimes, one instance I remember that she wasn't even my client yet. She wasn't the coachee yet. I just met her somewhere at the event. And for the first half an hour, she just kept crying. So, as a coach or as a professional, you cannot stop yourself, or you can't just say that, oh, I'm here to help and this is what we are going to do, this is the process. No, you have to just shut up at that time and listen, and just listen with full focus, and notice the behavioral changes in that person. So from the time she started crying until she was done, I handed over some tissues and whatever I had to calm down, to do to calm her down. That is the process, actually. That is the journey. And in the process, when I'm hearing somebody's negative life experience, it does have an effect on me as well. Or if we are actually doing a coaching session, it does affect the coach mentally, physically, emotionally as well. And again, there are some techniques, or there are some mantras, or there is some meditation that we as coaches, personally I do to release that effect, because it is energy. At the end of the day, we human beings share, whether it's the positive energy or otherwise. So to let go of the negative energy, also we need to do certain kind of processes that help us. in turn. So I do them quite often. Whenever I meet a person, there's a bond formed knowingly, unknowingly, and after that, to cut those ties and to be able to be in that peaceful environment again, in the peaceful state of mind, because only when we are in the resourceful state of mind we can be productive, we can perform well in all areas of our life. So we have to do that.
Great. So, thank you for telling me that I asked you a good question.
No,
I
no,
appreciate that.
it's
And you mentioned certifications, you mentioned NLP and some other certifications. Could you give us a quick rundown on what are the kind of certifications which you did and why you chose those specifically?
right. So, going back to my corporate life and corporate career, there were a lot of certifications there as well, like training certifications and all. And then when I decided to authentically help people, I looked around and I had a couple of people who suggested me to go for these master life. It didn't start from master life, it started from 2 days of personal breakthrough session. And that's where I um, dealt with a lot of my personal issues. That's where the journey started. And then NLP, neuro linguistic programming certification, started. And that was in 2015. That's when I decided to go for the mastery level, because the basic level was for 7 to 10 days, and then the mastery level was for 21 days of life coaching and NLP here in Dubai. So I did it with Robert Simich Coaching Institute, and it's a credentialed, certified institute, and through from International Coach Federation (ICF) and continued coaching education (CCE). So that is when the journey started, and that's where I started upskilling. So I am a certified hypnotist as well, a certified relationship coach as well, and a certified time paradigm practitioner as well. So that's a bit of a jargon there. I usually don't use these jargon because it's like, what? So fancy terms.
Exactly. So I'm like time paradigm. Okay.
Exactly.
So if you had to quickly in 30 seconds say what it is, would you like to tell our audience that?
So these are tools and techniques based on scientific research on human behavior, on quantum physics, the universe that runs parallel to, I don't know if many people have heard about that, but yes, whatever we are doing right now, we may just call it like 11:55 right now the time, but it is just an illusion. That's how we measure time, but it's running, the same thing is actually happening in the universe parallel to this one that we live in somewhere. So, another point is these techniques are everything to do with improving your internal state of mind, what you think about yourself, how you look at yourself, whether it's your self image, whether it's your self confidence, whether it is understanding your own emotions and others, for example, emotional intelligence. So neuro-linguistic programming is everything to do with the language that we talk to our mind. So to put it in simple terms, it's the thoughts and emotions that this knowledge and wisdom is based on. So everything that we think and everything that we feel, I would simply put it as that. That is the sum total of our life, the experiences that we go through, or things that we have learned over a period of time in our life for 20 years, 30 years, or even before that. So this kind of help actually, and the processes, they are very focused on, if we talk about NLP, it is used in habit changes as well. So, for example, if I'm addicted to something, a screen time, or if I'm procrastinating a lot, or for some people, smoking is a habit they want to actually get rid of, but they can't. So, to put it simply, this is a help available, which is proven, which is scientific, and there are a lot of testimonies to this, and it is completely non invasive, non medical. So, also, I would like to say that I'm not a medically certified doctor, or I cannot give prescriptions to people. So, this is an alternative method of helping people um, overcome the issues that they have currently in their life and where they want to be. Obviously, in a better space, in a safe zone, safe environment, and healthy and creative one.
So the marketing in me cannot resist asking you this question. Who's your target audience?
Again, a very good question. My business has, rather, Auracious Global has two verticals. One is totally focused on personal development, where it is more to do with B2C, the customers or the clients, individuals, where I do the personal consultations with them or group coaching or group workshops. So that is one target audience, especially working professionals who are under a high amount of stress. For example, stress from workplace, stress from societal pressure, women, for example, 30 and above or 25 and above till 55, 60. And that is my target audience and individuals. In the other business vertical is corporate professional development, everything to do with small corporates. That is my target audience. For example, 50 to 100 employees, because they are the ones who either have never invested into an employee development program or are thinking or contemplating on getting into one. So those are the ones that I want to help, and that is my target market there. Because the other ones, the bigger corporates, already have an in-house learning and development, training and development system, and they have a training calendar and set agendas, and the process is quite long there. The approvals and listing as a vendor with them. So I decided to cut out all that and help give a focused help to people, and the topics that are relevant to their industry, to their corporate, the small corporate, whether it is communication skills, improving them, whether it is the smart leadership or thought leadership. I do corporate training programs based on that. So that is in a nutshell.
So, Nosheen, this is a bit off the mark, but tell me something. Is there an alert, a red flag, which you see with individuals or with corporates that they need this? It is time for them to approach you, or is there some tip which you know which gives you that alert, that red alert?
Red alert in understanding or
Yeah,
identifying their
yeah,
need.
yes, yes. That's what I'm asking.
Yes, the very first time I either get connected to them online or I meet them in person, both individuals and corporates. I am very observant as a person and as a professional. Also, I have to be, because that's the need of that's what I do. So, as a person, I would assess or observe their language. For example, if it's a CEO of a company and I am coaching him on or planning to coach him on an individual level as well, and his employees as well. So the target market is actually, in sync there. A busy working professional, high amount of stress, not able to spend good time with the family. So I would ask them questions. So probing is what leads us to identifying the correct need, even before they have identified it to me. Right? So that is what helps. In many cases, they are the ones who tell me, okay, this is what the pain areas are, and we need training in this for our employees. Or this is what I'm struggling with in life, whether it's decision making, whether I'm crossroads and have conflict within, and I don't know which one to choose. As a woman, for example, if it's a career oriented woman and she has to take a personal decision of whether to start a family now or not, that's a very critical question at that time. So the kind of environment she's living in or the kind of language she talks to me in gives me a fair idea of where she is right now and where she wants to go. And then vice versa for the employees as well.
Great. Thank you so much for sharing that. And Nosheen, the series is Marketing Magic Industry Insight. So let's get down to little brass tacks and tell me, how do you market yourself? Where can one find you? What do
Right.
which are the platforms where you're available? And do you have a website?
Yes, absolutely. www.auriciousglobal.com is the website, and
Right. So
people
I'll
can.
share. Yeah, I'll share that in the thing. So you have a website, and is the website like interactive, or is it like just it's there and people can read about you and connect with you, or do you have like a chat bot and all which helps people with the initial filtering and things? Do you have like that?
Not yet. I'm in the process of doing that. Right now, what people can actually find is, yes, some relevant information there, the offerings, the services, and also book a call to action,
Got,
if
got.
I may say that, so they
Yeah,
can
it
go
right,
through
very good.
Calendly with me.
Yes, yes. So I don't think in the session I mentioned before, some of my audience are entrepreneurs, some of them who are
Right.
looking to become entrepreneurs, and some are students who would be looking at how various businesses work. Especially because I believe that every person who brings food to their table and to their employees' table is a hero, and our heroes are amongst us, and we discuss them so less in our regular conversation that this was a series where I tried to bring out people as to what they are doing, what they're specializing, and that is where the question comes from about the marketing. So, where
Right.
else how else do you market yourself?
I'm actually social media, LinkedIn. I have a personal page and a company page as well by the name of Auracious Global. Then on Insta, I'm by the name of Nowsheen Yaqoob or Yaqoob Nowsheen and Auracious Global. Then Facebook. I have been, since last year, I have been doing a lot of interactive sessions live there as well, based on themes, whether it's a personal development theme or professional development, like professional image and so. So those lives have been very interactive, and the presence has been there in terms of the social media content, the posts. And recently, in this year, 2022, in Ramadan, we created a Ramadan challenge. So that was everything to do with first 10 days were about letting go, second 10 days about embracing, and third 10 days about keeping the change. So some things like this, which are easy to understand, easy to navigate and relate to, these are the channels that I follow. And also, Auracious has a YouTube channel also where people can find a lot of content there as well.
I must commend you that though I did not join your challenge, Ramadan challenge, for whatever my own reasons, but it was a very good initiative. And I know that you got a lot of interaction and traction on LinkedIn, where I saw you most active with that. And you
Yes,
were consistent with your posts and with the content. And I think you divided it very beautifully into those three segments. And that was a great job. And I can see that as a marketing person, like talking about it, once you've
right.
created this kind of a model, it is makes the next time more easy to replicate and
True.
add further content, and your audience already knows you. So let's say even if there were 10 people or 100 people who followed you, then they would be
Right.
now 100 plus everybody else who's in their connection will also get into it. So that I think is a very, very brilliant
True.
kind
True.
of a
Thank you so
campaign
much.
that you created. That was a very good one. So
Right.
that was do you blog, Nosheen?
I do, and for my website actually, because I do newsletters. It used to happen till the end of July every week, and now I'm going bi-weekly with that. So what happens is I write a blog, and the blog is obviously a longer version, and then I extract focused information from there, and I put it out as a newsletter and send it out to the contacts that are in the list. So yes, blogs are right now on a very smaller level, but I'm in a process of increasing that frequency as well and the number.
So, what about Quora.com or Reddit and all? Are you available there? Do you,
No,
kind
but
of? I think these are platforms where people answer questions, ask questions, and people answer them. And are you available anywhere on there? Those kind of,
no,
or
but
have you thought about it?
it's a food for thought. Actually, you planted a seed. And just before this, we were talking about two other platforms.
About Mensa, yes, that's true,
Yes,
because I'm there active all the time.
right, right. No,
Yes, we were talking about
I
Mensa as well.
appreciate and a lot of initiatives that you are taking and organically getting people to join that, and creating a lot of value for not just your own network but people at large and society at large. I would say that's an integral part of social entrepreneurship that you are actually engaged in.
Thank you.
So yeah,
So
I congratulate you
it's
on that.
it's like, when you're having a good cake or an ice cream or a dessert or even namkeen and whatever you eat,
Right,
enjoying and relishing it, and been doing it for a year plus, then I like everybody has a space there, everybody has a voice there, get in there kind of a thing, which I would actually same thing, like, for YouTube or for LinkedIn, I would tell people,
right.
but you are already doing all of that. How do you track all your marketing that you're doing? And how do you decide which ones to focus on at which particular point?
Actually, right now it is at a smaller level, and I am mostly doing most of the things myself. So, keeping a track of the content, themes, or what is new, what is current in terms of where do people really need help. So, that is how I track. I keep certain months focused on a particular theme, whether it is personal development for 1 month, or the second month it will be totally focused on corporates. And I have also made a social media planner. It's not
Okay.
nothing like the ones that are available online or something. I have made my own. And some days are focused on sales oriented posts, for example. There will be a bit of information and then a call to action in the end. Some will be totally informative. So there will be a lot of those, slides, swipe slides, and you will get a lot of tips on that. So if you track the history from where I started, how I started doing content was just some words that I felt should go out there and reach people as a message. I started with that, and then slowly I structured that. What would people really appreciate? How can I create a difference? So there isn't, I would say, I don't track my marketing with a tool as such, or yeah, but I do. With the work, with when it came to website, I did all the content myself, and that was unique, and I take pride in that. But I took professional help, so I'm open to taking professional help as and when I can uh, contribute financially to that as well, because that is another
Yeah.
one one
Yes,
integral
an
element.
eternal struggle.
Yes,
So I
yes.
didn't ask you about Twitter. Are you on Twitter?
I am, but unfortunately, I have not marketed it or promoted it as I should have. So I feel my audience is more on LinkedIn and on Facebook. When it comes to Insta, yes, it is more of when the posts are really interactive and there's a lot of images or a short video or reels. I have seen that growing quite well in the past. But definitely Twitter, if I get a chance to market that well, I would definitely do
Is a book in the offing?
that. Did you read my mind? I'm in a
Why not?
I'm in a process to actually adding something on my website that will be like a self help tool for people as a giveaway. Even if they are just coming and spending like a couple of minutes on the website, they can actually download that. And whether it's an ebook, I don't know at the moment what it'll transform into, but it'll be a mix of couple of self-help tools.
So that is actually also a lead generation method which people use. But if you give value,
Indeed,
it is
indeed.
fair. Why not? I mean, we are, everybody wants a space for themselves, and there's only so much in the market share which one can actually get.
Right,
So
right.
I think it's a very good idea, and it was just a progressive question that one you've reached a certain level, Noshi, and
True,
I'm sure people would like to read about it, read about you, read about the tips that you want to share. And
right.
not every time everyone wants to be looking at videos or listening to you in a live webinar or something like
Mm,
that. Maybe they want to just revisit, a book. The thing which I find about book is tangible, that you can just pick up any page and read from any page, which
true.
which which can make your day.
And it
So
also relates, like if we talk about internal representations and how we learn or how we actually teach. As an academician, I think you will agree with me. The learners have different styles. Some
yes.
learn through listening, some learn through visuals. So that is, I have to cater to all different kind of, audience and people out there. I would do that. I'm open to learning and contributing.
So very quickly, while I was listening to you, I had this in mind, and I was going to share it with you after this, but I think it's good to do it on live. And have you thought about apparel and stationery journal where people can actually use to journal, because that's what you're helping people with? Have you thought
Right.
about those, about
Um,
adding that a book for a
I
journal
have.
or a diary or a social media planner and stuff? Are we going to see Auracious like that in a tangible form?
Inshallah, inshallah. I am as in when I grow my team as well, because it's not very easy to cater to all facets and do them efficiently. Because something I may be good at, I may not be good at other things. So, in order to professionally do it and give it as a value, not just ticking one box that I have to do this. I'm keeping it for next year, hopefully. The beginning of 2023 will see a lot more value adds in Auracious Global, inshallah. Thank
Wonderful. I
you.
look forward to that. And I wish you all the very best for that.
Thank
Before
you.
we leave for the day, could you just quickly share with me what is the book that you're reading right now?
The book that I'm reading right now is actually Metaphysical Anatomy by Evett Rose.
Very
It actually
nice.
helps me in coaching sessions as well, because that's in line with my profession, and I don't these days find a lot of time to read something otherwise. So this has a lot of information about causes and root causes of some issues that you may have in life, or chronic illnesses. That's another area where I focus on what could be the possible cause through emotions,
Okay.
not just because you carry it as a hereditary with you, but why? Where did it come from? So it's very interesting, even for somebody who just wants to gain knowledge on any of the things that they have that is a matter of concern in their life. It may have started from this. So there's a lot of possibility in that book. I'm reading the first volume as of now, but the second one is in place, and I'll get my hands on that.
Good luck with that. Any last quote or mantra for my audience before we say a bye
um,
today?
Yes, definitely. My beliefs and values hinge on human connectedness, growth, and contribution, and everything to do with change. Because from the time when I started and how I have evolved, every human's journey possibly is about change. So I would say, when you surrender yourself to the process of change, that is the key to self or true self empowerment. So empowerment doesn't just happen because you took a book, you read something out of it, but you'll have to implement, you'll have to transform that knowledge into wisdom through a process, and that process is change. That is what I would say.
Thank you so much for that, Nosheen. It's been wonderful. I just didn't realize where the time has gone by. Thank you for coming on to Marketing Magic Industry Insights. And we'll catch up again. Please don't go away. Just stay put there. I'll just end this session out here right now. All
Sure.
right.
Thank you
Thank
very much.
you.
Thanks
Thanks.
a lot.
Bye.
God
Bye.
bless. Bye bye.